What up, what up, what up? Doug from Salt Lake. Okay, listen, real quick one today. It's Saturday, May 18th. Saturday, May 18th, 2019. A lot of people are asking me who I had help me with my stuff. It's Secured Services Company. Here's their website. As you can see up here, type in Secured Service Co. and it'll take you right to it. So, if you just go to the front page here, okay, and you just click on this read more, you could go through here and look around and just read birth certificate's key. Okay, they have the title. So what you do is they put us on the C, they put us in maritime, corporate United States, the bankruptcy, your straw man. Okay, it's got a bunch of information in here. You should probably read all this, and if you're interested, just tell them Doug sent you. Okay, so the thing I've been getting excited about is, I'm going to show you this right now. This is a constructive notice. You don't do litigation in court anymore. You don't, operate out in public. You operate in private. And when you correct your status, you have an option of not using your social security number anymore. And we all know with child support, they need a name. And what else do they need? They need that fucking social security number, don't they? So what if there was a way that you could get a job and you could get a bank account without using a social security number? What if you were the trustee of a trust and you had an EIN number instead? Well, it sounds good, because if you're using an EIN and you go in there and file the correct paperwork, that can be found in your status correction course from Secured Services. And there's other people out there. I've mentioned them, High Frequency, and the SEDM, Sovereign Education Defense Ministry, and of course there's Rick W. and Ahmed Osiris. There's a bunch of stuff out there on the internet. Okay, so what I have done is I no longer pay child support. Okay, because I am not liable to the state of Utah anymore, because I have corrected my status. And I have also found an opportunity to where I get paid on a 1099 form, and I don't pay taxes and I don't pay child support, because I am not liable to the state anymore. And one of the things I've been struggling with is, what I want to do is I want to open a bank account, and I want to open the bank account under my trust's name, and I'm getting some blowback from these ass bags that work at the bank. Now, they are pretty adamant and pretty fickle, pretty condescending. Like they know the law, and, well, you have to have a social security number attached to the trustee and this and that and the other. And it's like, dude, listen, I've got information here that I've put together on this constructive notice. Got a couple of people, we kind of worked together and put this together. But this is going to be a constructive notice to the bank. Now, it's probably not going to wind up very well, and I'm probably going to have to change banks. So eventually, we will go in here with this constructive notice, and we will put these, these men, they're men just like you. They're not above you. we're all equal under the law. And, you got to check some of these fools, man. So let's go over this real quick. This is a constructive notice, okay? And you're going to put the person being served, going to put their name there of, Citibank or U.S. Bank or Bank of England or whoever the fuck, right? Put the name, put the address of the institution, the date you're filling it out. And this is your notice. You are being made aware of this constructive notice that is in violation of federal law to refuse to open a non-interest bearing bank account if the party wanting to open the account does not provide a Social Security account number or a taxpayer identification number. Now, once you correct your status, you're not going to have one of these anyway, and you're not going to use one of these because this is federal jurisdiction and this is federal jurisdiction. And if you're not in federal jurisdiction anymore and you live in state citizen jurisdiction and you have an EIN number for a trust and you don't use any of these identification numbers, they still have to, allow you to open up a bank account. Okay. So you're being made aware that you're in violation if you refuse to provide your services to a client or potential client because the client or potential client does not provide a Social Security account number or taxpayer identification number, right? So you personally and the institution, right? So you're breaking them up. You got them in private and you got them in public, okay? You represent may be liable for damages and attorney's fees. Now, I didn't say you are. I said may be liable in accordance with Section 1 of Public Law 93-579, also known as the Privacy Act, and Title 5 of United States Code 552A, also known as the Privacy Act, you are being informed of the following. Okay, so you're putting them on notice. Okay, hey, come to your brother first. Come with clean hands. Hey, man, this is what I'm trying to do. Okay. The right to privacy is a personal and fundamental right protected by the Constitution. You may maintain in your records only such information about an individual as it is relevant and necessary to accomplish a purpose required by statute or by executive order of the president. Okay? Now, I don't know who said this, but it's in quotes. Section 7 of this Privacy Act specifically provides that it shall be unlawful for any federal, state, or local government agency to deny an individual any right, benefit, privilege provided by law because of such individual's refusal to disclose his Social Security number. Now, do you have the right to have a bank account? Okay. Is it a benefit? Well, sure it is, man. That way you don't have to carry around a bunch of cash, right? Or is it a privilege? Yeah, it's kind of it's nice, man. You get your little debit card, swipe, right? Okay. So you cannot deny me a benefit or a privilege because I won't give you a Social Security number. Now, why are we going over? Well, you know what? Let's hang on. Let's hang on before we go any farther here. The right of privacy is a personal right designed to protect persons from unwanted disclosure of personal information. Okay? CNA versus local. That's federal supplemental. In enacting Section 7, the Privacy Act, Congress sought to curtail the expanding use of Social Security numbers by federal and local agencies, and by so doing, to eliminate the threat to individual privacy and confidentiality of information posed by common numerical identifiers. Okay? That's Doyle versus Wilson. It shall be unlawful for any state and federal or local government agency to deny to any individual any right, benefit, privilege provided by law because of his refusal to disclose his Social Security number. So tell him no. Okay? Go to another bank, open another bank account, and tell him no, because Child support needs two things. What do they need most important? They need that social security number, man, so they can track you and they can go to your employer and threaten him and go to your bank and put a lien, right? So if your bank account does not have a social security number on it, that bank account is not in federal jurisdiction. Now, this is assumptions on my part. This is not legal advice. This is just my, my 2 cents, man. This is my opinion, okay? That's also Doyle versus Wilson. An agency is a relation created by express or implied contract or by law, whereby one party delegates the transaction of some lawful business with a more or less discretionary power. Okay? If the institution you represent is a bank, you are advised that if such bank routinely collects information and provides such information to federal, state, and local governments, then you are an agency of the government. And I am not supposed to be compelled by an agency of the government to use a social if I don't want to. Right? Does that make sense? 76th Amendment of the Social Security Act, codified at 42 U.S.C. 3000 or 301, 405C2, I and 3I, states that there are only 4 instances where Social Security are demanded. It's for taxes. Are you a taxpayer? Nope, not anymore. Do you receive public assistance? Nope, never have. Do you have a driver's license? Nope, I have a traveler's permit. Do you register a motor vehicle? Okay, so if you're in there anywhere, motor vehicle can ask you for social, right? Driver's license, social, public assistance. Well, of course, because they want to get you in their jurisdiction. For taxes, well, of course, because they want you in their jurisdiction. But anything else, they cannot compel you to use, okay, a Social Security number. You are advised that any non-interest bearing account does not pertain to any of the above. Because the account pays no interest, there is no need to know on the part of the government. In accordance with the Privacy Act, whenever an agency fails to comply with the law, the party wronged may bring a civil action. Okay, so here's your actionable offense. Okay, here is your relief that you are requesting, right, from the court. Actual damages sustained, no less than $1,000. Cost of the action together, okay? And this is important right here. You can wrong maybe bringing a civil action in a district court of the United States, okay? A lot of people think that this district court is your local district court with all those clerks in there working. That's not what it is. This is federal, okay? The banks are under federal. So your federal district court in your local neighborhood, that's where you would fill this out. Against such as, so, if it costs you $300 to file it and you have this constructive notice and you say, hey man, I need some paperwork from you that says the reason you're denying me. Or, go in there with your phone and record the whole thing or whatever. Sit down with a guy, set the phone on the desk and record the document it. Send him a letter of intent. Send him a letter of intent that says, hey man, I'd like to open up a bank account without using a Social Security. And if you deny me, would you please clarify the reasons and write them down here on this affidavit of, fact, and have one of these guys sign a document, man. How easy can that be, right? Here, just sign here, bro. All right. So anyway, this is what we've been working on. And this is just a regular old 2-pager right here. It's not real bad. But I am going to go in and give this a shot. And if I have to, I'm going to put these guys on notice too, man. Because I'm not going to be compelled anymore. I'm secured party.